All right, so I think we're just about ready to start this video. We got 3 MagSafe chargers to take a look at today, 2 fake plants that every YouTuber seems to have, and 1 iPhone 12 to put this to the test. Let's check this out. Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Jesse, and in today's video, we're gonna be checking out 3 different MagSafe chargers and putting it to the test with the iPhone 12. Now, the 3 brands we're checking out today is Apple, of course, their OEM MagSafe charger. We have a brand called Tozo that's like a MagSafe knockoff, but seems to be really well reviewed, so we're gonna check this out too. And RavPower, which we all know the company, but let's see how they did making a MagSafe, it's not real MagSafe charger. Okay, so we're gonna be checking out the Apple one last to just see how it compares to these other 2. So let's start off with the RavPower one. And RavPower, they were getting a lot of flack for this because it's not a real MagSafe charger. They can't call it MagSafe because Apple hasn't been licensing out the technology yet to random companies for them to use. But this is still a magnetic wireless charger that works with the iPhone 12, so we're gonna put this to the test. And by the way, the way I'm gonna be testing this out is mainly testing out the magnetic strength and just the overall feel, build quality, because they all support the same either 5, 10, or 15 watt or 7.5 watt wireless charging capability. I have no way of testing that, so this is just mainly a build quality / magnetic attraction sort of test. So anyway, continuing on with the RavPower, you get some nice documentation to kick things off. We got the RavPower MagSafe charger. Now, just off the bat, you get a nice rubber finish in the front, you get some text on the back, and the text basically just tells you that it's a 15 watt wireless charger, and you get a USB-C port on this end. Now, RavPower was nice enough, unlike some other companies, Apple, sorry, my throat, to include a nice little charger in the box as well. So this is a charger capable of outputting the full 15 watt capability of the RavPower charger, so that's really nice of them. This charger is also USB-C. It's very small, so you could also use this for your phone. You could use for whatever you have, really. There's no complaints here. This is actually 20 watts. It's capable of outputting 20 watts, so that's pretty good. All right, so since I'm not gonna be testing out the charging, we actually don't need this piece right here, but what we do need is the iPhone 12. Now, the iPhone 12 currently has like a knockoff MagSafe charger, so if we go ahead and take this off, you guys can see that it has the magnetic attraction array right over here. That's the magnets like embedded into the case that you need to have in order for it to be considered like a MagSafe case. We're gonna be trying it out with this on and also with just the iPhone 12 bare, just to make sure that it's not the case that's causing the problem, because this isn't an official Apple case. But anyway, the comparison should still be similar because we're using the same exact case every single time. All right, so let's kick this off with the case on. So we have 2 sides. One of them has like the text on one side. The other one is a rubberish matte finish. So I'm pretty sure the matte finish goes on. And I can already tell this is a fairly weak connection going on. Now, I am gonna try it without the case as well, just to make sure, but let's see if we can hold the phone upside down with MagSafe on it, and I'm gonna have my hand here as a just in case. Okay, so it does support it. Spoke too soon. It can support it, but when any other movement comes into play, it just falls right off. Now, let's be fair, and let's take the case off to see if the case is causing any problems. Okay, so going caseless, really scary. This doesn't feel like it's gonna scratch your phone at all, so just keep that in mind. I think they all have like some finish here to make sure there's no scratching going on in your phone. Like, just make sure there's nothing in between, no dirt, no stuff like that. But let's go ahead, hook this up here. Okay, I felt it click in. And let's go ahead and hold this upside down again. Okay, so it can hold it. Now let's give it like a little, really put something under the phone. Let's give it a little tug. Yeah, that comes right off. So the reason why I'm doing it this way is because a lot of people have been starting to use MagSafe as a car charger as well. So I wanna make sure that this thing can actually be used as a magnetic charger and make sure it's not just like a gimmicky wireless charger that like clicks on. Now, if you're using just a regular wireless charger, there's no problem there. But if you're trying to pick up your phone, maybe shake it around and stuff, I don't see this thing sticking on very well. Actually, okay, so it's not bad at all. For $30, I believe, while it's on sale, plus you get a 20 watt charging port included in the box as well. It's USB-C, it's small, it's from a reputable company. I say this is a win, but it's not gonna be like a car mount or anything like that. It is just gonna be an overall nice MagSafe charger. All right, so finishing it off with RavPower, let's put the case back on so we can test the next charger with the case on. And the next charger is from a brand called Tozo. Now, I didn't buy like every MagSafe charger on Amazon, A, because that's a lot of money, and B, because a lot of them just seem like just super knockoffs that it just, I don't know, I just didn't like it. But this one, it is a magnetic wireless charger. It is MagSafe compatible. It is technically a knockoff, so is the RavPower if you think about it. But this one had a lot of well-rated reviews, and I decided to give this one a shot. Let's go ahead and open this up. Included in here, we have more documentation that I'm just not really gonna read. Actually, the one thing I'm gonna check is this 15 watts. Yeah, so this has an output power of 5 to 15 watts, depending on the voltage of your charger. But let's go ahead and take this out. This is from Tozo. We have a nice charging cord. Now, what's cool about this one is that it doesn't come with a wall mount or wall wart, whatever you call these things, but it does come with a nice included USB-C to USB-A adapter. So you can use this in your previous Apple chargers. Keep in mind that you're probably not gonna get the full 15 watt output if you use the adapter like this instead of using a power delivery charger like this one, but it's there. You can use it with older chargers as well. All right, so this gives you a fairly long cable to work with. I think it's probably the same length as the RavPower. Looks about the same length. Let's go ahead and take this out. First impressions, it is definitely thicker than the RavPower, but by a very, very small amount. It also has a nice matte rubber finish going on in the front. Nothing really important on the back besides the brand name, just some labels and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and put this on the iPhone 12 with the MagSafe case. Okay, right off the bat, this thing grips on way better than the RavPower did. I can tell you that right now. It takes a lot of force to pry this thing off. Let's go ahead and do the upside down test again. I'm not even worried about keeping my hand under this because I know it's not gonna fall off. But when I start shaking it, I am gonna be a little cautious. Okay, held up to the shake test. I don't think there's really anything that's gonna be stronger than this in like the day-to-day use. Really, really good. And keep in mind, that's with the case on. The RavPower with the case on barely even stood a chance. That just slides right off, even like the smallest tug. So already, really impressed with this guy. It is super small. Is it smaller in like diameter than the RavPower? It is. So it's smaller but thicker. So just bear that in mind. Now let's go caseless with this guy and let's see what it's really all about. Okay, going caseless with the Tozo wireless charger. Let's go ahead and lock that on. It holds on really nicely. It has a nice satisfying like click too. So if you have this on your desk and you just throw your phone, it just sounds really, I don't know, sounds good. Okay, now let's see if it's still gonna come off. This is kind of annoying, hold on. Guys, that is on there good. Okay, already? No idea what the brand Tozo is. I've never even seen any of their products before, but this is a dang good wireless charger. I can tell you that from now. If the wattage is true, that it supports 15 watt or 20 watt, whatever, I think 15 watts is the fast charging for iPhones for the MagSafe right now. I'll double check on that, but I think it's 15 watts. If this thing does truly support 15 watts, this is a pretty good charger. The only problem is that you need either a USB-C adapter, like a wall mount, or you can use this USB-C to USB-A adapter to plug it into older wall mounts. That's the only problem, but also this is $20. The RavPower with this included was $30, and Apple's MagSafe is $40. So keep that in mind. Let me clean up this space a little bit and then let's move on to the final Apple MagSafe and see how it compares to Tozo especially, because this one is super impressive. Lastly, I'm keeping the Tozo out so we can do a direct comparison. Let's move that over here. We have the Apple MagSafe charger. Now, I'm expecting this to be the best, but let's just see. You never know. Now, keep in mind as we're unboxing this thing that the Apple MagSafe charger is $40, the most expensive of all three. We get some included documentation like the rest of them. Doesn't seem like anything too interesting going on there. We have a nice design by Apple in California. We can unfold that. And we are introduced to the MagSafe charger and the cord on this side. So let's go ahead and pry the MagSafe charger out. Probably just pull it out. Okay, so pulling the MagSafe charger out, let's get this cord out as well. This is actually pretty tough. Okay, cool, we got the MagSafe out. Now, side-by-side comparison to the Tozo. In terms of dimensions, Tozo is fairly bigger than the Apple one, in terms of like diameter. The material on the front, Apple's does feel much more premium, but it feels like it's gonna do the same thing. They're both like a nice rubber matte finish, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for the magnetic attraction for this guy. So let's go ahead and put the Apple down. Let's throw this on top. attracts probably just as well as the Tozo, maybe a little bit worse, honestly. Let's see how it holds up to a nice little shake test. Not as good as the Tozo. I don't know what Tozo's doing over there in their research factory, but they're doing something well. Okay, definitely not as good as the Tozo. Now, obviously, when you're buying the Apple one, you get like the official MagSafe. The one from Tozo and the one from RavPower are not like official MagSafe chargers, but they're wireless magnetic chargers, not MagSafe. So technically it's not the same thing, but if you're looking for that nice little animation that comes on, it still supports as long as you have like the right wattage charger and everything. Guys, this is a tough one. All right, we gotta be fair and we have to go caseless because maybe the Apple one doesn't support this case that well. We never know. Okay, caseless, attaches really, really nicely. I love the sound of that. Let's go ahead and do a nice little shake test. Okay, also passes the shake test pretty well. So now I'm a little bit torn. I don't have an official MagSafe case. This is a MagSafe case, but it's not like from Apple directly. So it could just be that Apple's isn't lined up with the third-party ring as well as it should be. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my phone down. I'm gonna try and do like a test to see how much I can pull before this gets released. So let's go ahead and hold the phone and let's tug on this. That's quite a bit of force. I have no way of measuring the force. You guys just have to take my word for it. But let's go ahead and put the Tozo on. Also a nice little snap. Tozo seems like it's a little bit weaker than the Apple one, but honestly not by much at all. You're saving half the price when you go for the Tozo versus the Apple. They honestly might be about the same, guys. I'm not too sure. So if I had to pick, the one that I'm keeping especially is definitely going to Tozo. I have no idea who this brand is. I don't know why I picked them. I think it just had good reviews, but whatever they did here is doing it really, really well. This isn't an official MagSafe charger, so keep that in mind. If you want something that's gonna support MagSafe accessories and stuff like that, this probably won't fit into them because it's a little bit smaller it's a little bit bigger than the OEM Apple MagSafe charger. So if you're going on Amazon, you're buying like a bunch of MagSafe docks, you have to go for the Apple one for that because there isn't a direct replica yet. But for just an overall MagSafe charger, this guy is going straight to my car. It's my new car wireless charger. I'm gonna love this thing. And that's the one that I recommend for this video. Now, of course, Apple going OEM is always the way to go in my opinion, but when you could save a buck, you can save a buck. And I'm gonna be keeping the Tozo out of this comparison. RavPower put up a good fight. I like that they included the little wall mount too, a nice 20-watt wall mount, but they're just missing it on the magnetic attraction. I think when Apple starts licensing out this technology, like they do with their lightning adapter, it's gonna become way better. But for now, RavPower has gotta step up their game. Tozo is gonna take the cake out of the three that I've tested for this video. And that pretty much wraps it up, guys. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider leaving the video a like and consider subscribing, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.